Jason Derulo vows never to be alone with female colleagues following harassment lawsuits. American singer Jason Derulo has announced that he will never again be alone in a room with a female colleague, citing a nearly 2-year sexual harassment lawsuit that he says has cost him millions despite previous dismissals in other jurisdictions. In an interview with Graham Bensinger, Derulo explained, and I quote, "I'll never be alone in a room with a woman that I work with ever again. That case was dismissed twice and I lost so many brand deals, relationships off of a story that was not even slightly believable. Why didn't they post the dismissal at least? Wouldn't that be fair?" End of quote. The interview comes as aspiring singer Emaza Dilan has refiled a sexual harassment lawsuit against Derulo in New York after similar claims were dismissed on procedural grounds in California and Nevada. Although no court has yet ruled on the merit of the allegations, Derulo says the lingering accusations have already cost him major brand partnerships and forced him to change how he interacts with women in professional settings. Jason Derulo's comments highlight the ongoing challenges celebrities face when allegations, whether dismissed or unresolved, impact both their professional and personal lives.
Yeah, just give me the case of once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah.
And this is the era. You cannot blame Jason Derulo for
No, you
wanting to
can't.
take this decision. Like, yo, if it's, let it be professional, no name. Because it's awkward now as looking at situations where let's start with the hashtag that they started with Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
There was the R. Kelly situation.
Yeah.
Diddy came to
Diddy.
play. Harvey Weinstein. And people are now beginning to be like, yo, step back. Because allegations just fly around, some true, some not true.
Yeah.
And it's just a case whereby everybody has to be, aside from being extra careful, those that actually do the deed should stop it.
Yeah.
Because down the line, you might think you've done it 10 years ago.
you've gotten away
5
with
years
it,
ago,
yeah.
you thought you got away with it. To come back and bite you and ruin everything, your legacy, everything that you've worked for. I think that's what the situation is.
Yeah, you said it all. I have nothing else to say.
All right, on to the next entertainment news. Leonardo DiCaprio announced as Time's 2025 Entertainer of the Year. Congratulations are in order as Time Entertainment of the Year has been awarded to Leonardo DiCaprio, marking a major highlight in a landmark season defined by the sweeping success of his latest film, one battle after another. The film surged to the forefront of Hollywood's awards race on Monday after earning 9 Golden Globes nominations to become one of this year's most celebrated contenders. Over a career spanning more than 35 years, DiCaprio has established himself as one of the last true movie stars, building a filmography filled with acclaimed performances that continue to shape modern cinema despite what critics have described as a few cinematic missteps. This long-awaited Academy Award win for The Revenant in 2015 remains one of the defining milestones of his career. The new honor has also renewed conversations around Leonardo DiCaprio's most powerful performances. His role in Catch Me If You Can in 2002, directed by Steven Spielberg, holds a 96% score on Rotten Tomatoes. His performance in Martin Scorsese's Killer of the Flower Moon in 2023 carries a 93% Rotten Tomatoes rating, with critic Chris Bombray describing it as the most complex character he's ever played. In The Departed, released in 2006, he delivered an intense portrayal of undercover cop Billy Costigan in a film that holds a 91% rating. Its environmental documentary Ice on Fire from 2019 and a 90% score, with CNN Brian Laurie calling it a better than most film on the topic that gets beyond the dire warnings to contemplating what can actually be done. One of his earliest performances in What's Eating Gilbert's Grape in 1993 remains among his most celebrated, with critics describing his teenage portrayal as astonishing and enormous, noting that he often overshadowed Johnny Depp, despite Depp being the established star at the time. In Shutter Island, released in 2010, DiCaprio delivered one of his most haunting screen performances as U.S. Marshal Teddy Daniels, earning praise for his raw, psychological, intense portrayal of a man unraveling under grief, paranoia, and emotional trauma, with critics noting that his performance anchored the entire film and elevated its dramatic impact. With one battle after another already dominating award season's conversation and his recognition as Time's Entertainer of the Year, Leonardo DiCaprio's latest chapter is being viewed as both a career peak and a powerful reaffirmation of his latest influence in global cinema.
I love this.
Amazing,
Yes, I love this
amazing.
for him. See all of the films that we've called out. These are
Yeah.
films that have happened over years. And those are not the only films that he has done in the span of his career.
Yeah.
But those are like the most remarkable ones. He's really, really amazing. He's a very good actor. He knows his onion. He's one of those people that in interviews he has said that he tries to understudy some characters that he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
And we see it come out. It comes to play in his movies, and that's how he gets all these awards. Anyway, congratulations to him.
I'm still shocked what the buzz is about one battle after another.
Why? You saw the trailer, yeah? The pregnant woman and everything.
No, he had a daughter and recruited soldiers, former soldiers, retired, doing whatever they are doing. They kidnapped daughter. He now had to call his crew back to. It just sounds like something I've heard before, but
Yeah,
I don't know
sounds
why
like the usual.
9 nods at the Golden Globes and looking at the Oscars and him getting times. Personal, well.
It's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, and it's that saying when it's your time, it's your time. So just run with
Exactly.
it. Amazing, congratulations. Leonardo.
Congratulations. Talking about movies, Paramount counters Netflix with hostile bid for Warner Bros. Discovery. Paramount has launched a hostile all-cash tender offer to acquire Warner Bros. Discovery WBD for $30 per share, escalating the ongoing bidding war with Netflix over control of one of Hollywood's most historic studios. The offer values the entertainment group at over $108.4 billion and represents a 139% premium over WBD's September stock price of $12.54 when the takeover battle began. It is Paramount's sixth bid for the company. Paramount's chairman and CEO, David Ellison, said the company was here to finish what we started, insisting that WBD shareholders deserve the chance to evaluate what he described as a superior all-cash proposal. The move comes days after Netflix stunned the industry by revealing it had reached a deal to buy Warner Bros. Studios, triggering widespread concern in Hollywood about the implications for the future of film and television production. Former US President Donald Trump also weighed in on the development, saying Netflix's acquisition attempt could be a problem due to the market share the company would gain. Unlike Netflix's offer, Paramount's bid includes WBD's cable channels such as CNN, TNT, TBS, and Discovery, placing them under the control of a company with close ties to the Trump administration. Paramount criticized Netflix's proposal, which values Warner Bros. At nearly $83 billion as inferior and uncertain, and argued its own merger plan would face fewer regulatory hurdles globally. The company said Netflix's takeover would give the streaming platform 43% of global streaming subscribers, exposing the deal to protracted regulatory challenges. A merger between Paramount and WBD would unite Paramount Pictures, CBS, Nickelodeon, and Paramount Plus with Warner Bros. Studios, HBO Max, Discovery, and major sports broadcasting rights. Paramount said the combined company would generate over $6 billion in cost savings, maintain theatrical releases, and increase content spending. The preservation of theatrical distribution is considered a sensitive issue in Hollywood, where some industry players have long criticized Netflix for its limited commitment to cinema releases. Following news of Paramount's offer, WBD shares rose more than 7%, while Netflix stock fell over 2% in Monday trading. The bidding war continues to draw intense scrutiny across the entertainment industry as both companies pursue ownership of Warner Bros., the studio behind classics such as Casablanca and Citizen Kane, as well as modern franchises including Game of Thrones, The Sopranos, and Harry Potter. What do you think of this war? Because obviously they are not the only ones bidding, but they are like the two biggest giants.
So we talked about this earlier, and I kind of like went the Netflix way, but Paramount's going for Warner Bros. Itself, and they are trying to sustain, because Netflix is just one streaming platform that is just there, and I see where Paramount is coming with all of this. Like, we need to still sustain the cinema, we still need to sustain all what we've worked for, than trying to just make one streaming platform just have all of this power. Why not we just, WBD, come, Warner Bros., let's reason first, because we are supposed to be on the same level, but let's invest in you instead of you going to meet that streaming platform, that guy that's supposed to be our enemy. Let's work together and take whatever we've been doing so that it doesn't die and give it to that streaming platform that is the enemy. But streaming platform is the future, and it's just a case of everybody, the bidding war.
Yeah, that's what got me.
And we're keeping our fingers crossed and see how all of this will pan out, if Paramount will really be able to convince Warner Bros. Or Netflix money, which they've dropped already and ready to go, will win.
All I'm just going to say is may the best man win.
But what happens to the culture of cinema? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the entertainment news. We'll be back shortly after this timeout.